And we're live! Hello everybody, welcome to the Arcane Gate. I'm Denaru.
I'm Charles Walker, Fallen Wiki 20. Welcome everybody. So, we made it! Season 2, everybody!
Woo!
Woo. Yeah! So...
You know our teeth.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's also really hard to cheer and not, like, peek and cut out the mic, so...
Like, I just cut myself out earlier just saying, let's go.
Have y'all seen the thing where people are donating, like, large amounts of money for people to just bust out their mics streaming?
What?
Yeah. Like, here's $20 for you to scream as loud as you can.
Well,
And they do it.
you heard that, DM.
Listen,
I mean, you.
oh no.
I mean,
$20, $20.
I ain't there for $20 is $20.
Group has heard me scream. I think.
Please, don't do it again.
No, I wouldn't do it on the stream.
Thank you. I didn't want you to do it in person, but like, I'm going to do it. I'm like, no!
Do
Probably
the roar.
pretty loud.
Yeah.
How can maybe pop up mic?
I can literally sound like I'm being murdered. It's awesome.
Yay.
Get excited.
Hey, I was excited my senior year of high school when I was able to scream during the Jaws theme song. And I know that sounds weird. But it's because we had a 3rd and 4th grade concert every year, and one of the songs we would play for them was a John Williams melody, and he created the Jaws theme. So, like, it would only be like 2 lines of music, and at the end of it, it would lead up to the da 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 da, and like whoever was chosen to scream that year would scream. And my senior year, it was me. I was happy.
You
I like to
learned that
imagine you
scream,
sitting
man.
at home practicing your, like, blood-curdling scream, and your family's like, what is she doing?
No, I didn't practice it. I'm just naturally good at screaming, man.
Okay,
Actually,
I'm
it was almost. You know what the funny thing is? I was actually almost. Well, I wasn't almost beaten out by him, but he actually. There's a guy in the trombone section that actually screamed really well. Like, everyone was surprised at how, like, high he could get in the scream.
Like, what an odd thing to compliment. You just screamed very well. It's very pleasant to hear. Just
It's not pleasant. It's just.
shut up, this is my headcanon.
It was impressive. I deny your headcanon and tell you what an actual canon. Shut up and take it.
I reject your reality and substitute my own.
Mythbusters is awesome, so yes.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, welcome everybody.
Alright, so back to what we were doing.
Yeah.
No screaming tonight.
Oh yeah, we
you
still
can't
have
stop
to start the stream, right?
it. We've started.
We started.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
I
was
missed
all.
that.
Tell more people how you scream at random things.
That was
No,
all
I'm good.
I'm so glad you didn't
talking
talk
about
to
TV.
yourself by saying the name of the school. Good job.
actually, I almost said the name of the guy who screams, so that would have been worse.
Ah, we don't care about him. They can kidnap him.
We do not advocate kidnapping.
Only if you're not caught.
Anyways, welcome to the Arcane. And yeah, we're going to get into it. So, it's hard. My best impromptu season 1 recap. 5 strangers all across the continent all were gathered together by getting sent one mysterious letter. All these people were strangers before then, except the twins, obviously. Now have become close allies after fighting ancient beings, strange monsters, cults, gangs, and now seemingly devils and former family members. But through it all, they made it to the point where they are at now. They won this tournament hosted by a famous water merid, and now they're doing their best to bask in the moment as they're all standing there a bit confused and exhausted in this ruined arena that just got ambushed. But they all made it out alive. Quickly, all of you are kind of ushered to the side as they're cleaning up the best they can on the outside. But eventually, you are let off back to your rooms, and with an armed escort the whole way. And eventually, when all of you get back there, the servant that had been with you the whole time is just like, well, I'm glad all of you made it all right. I hate all this happened. Everyone, get yourselves cleaned up and relax for a bit, and we, Lord Mary will call you soon once everything calms down a bit.
Well, thank you for escorting us.
Understood.
He nods and is like, that was no trouble. And he leaves, but some of the escort stays there, and at that point, Twins, Graham's standing there. She's hardly left your side the entire time, sticking with you as close as she can, and she pats both of you on the shoulders like, listen, I gotta find my grandson real quick, but I will be right back.
Okay. Just come back.
Please come back.
Of course, I will. Just, I'm quite sure he's okay, but I kind of went in one-track mind mode when I saw the Pit Fiend, and last I saw, he was still in our seats. I'm sure you know. He's quite the skilled warrior as well. I want y'all to meet him. It'd be good to bring the family together, you know.
Well, this was kind of a rough introduction to you. We've heard about you, but from them. But hopefully, when you return, we can have a proper introduction.
Right. And she looks at both of the twins. Where were your manners? You didn't even introduce me to your friends.
Little distracted, Graham.
In their defense, we weren't in the best circumstances, but
I didn't ask you, Cyrus.
Oh. Well. You know my name. Hi, I'm Cyrus.
Yes, I did a good bit of looking up on who was spending time with my granddaughters, yes.
Well, we know that you're their grandmother.
I deny everything.
You know our names. My name is Marcus. What might your name actually be? We only know you as their grandmother.
Right. Apologies. My name is Miriam Riptide.
Pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, pleasure. Even though it's not the best circumstance to meet someone, but pleasure.
Quite right. But I will be back shortly.
Mm-hmm. Take care.
Yeah. She nods and she hugs both the twins again and turns and hurries off.
Lovely lady.
Okay, so once she's gone, is like Rawl in the room with us?
Yeah, Rawl is sitting at the dining room table, just sipping a cup of coffee, little too quickly, and just slams on the table. Just, that was a right mess.
It was. What was the extent of the damages outside of the arena that you could see?
Pretty bad.
They were
A
just
decent bit of devils and hellhounds came through. It was nearly a full-scale invasion.
first time I see a proper devil, and it's in an invasion.
I mean, I feel like that makes sense.
Yeah. many things are that I once thought were fiction coming to light.
What is strange is why they would make enemies of multiple realms at the same time.
It doesn't seem to be the most tactical.
It means the prize was worth the risk.
Or they are cocky or strong enough to take out more planes at once.
I don't think that they're strong enough to do that, not yet anyway. I mean, they ran the second that the barrier was down.
You gotta remember, this isn't necessarily the full of demon kind. Okay? This could be just his retinue, the Pit Fiend.
Also, I mean, there are multiple parts to this. First of all, how are the two of you? They tried to do something to the two of you. Look at the twins.
Stunned silent.
No, I didn't hear everything that you just said.
Oh, I just said...
You're in shock. It's okay. You take your time to recover.
I said, how are the two of you? They tried to do something to you. That demon.
It was just like when I usually feel when the darkness tries to take over.
Yeah, but this time he was forcing it.
Yeah. It felt
And
even more unnatural. I didn't think that was possible.
and judging from your response, I'm guessing you did not know those people. Even though they were said to be your family.
Oh no, the woman who said to be her aunt looked exactly like her mother. And as I say that, I look at Maddie and just kind of like scoot closer to her.
That woman, our aunt, looks exactly like that woman.
Well, we do have a lot of questions for your gran now that she's actually here, and we can ask her more what's going on with the two of you. Maybe she has more insight into that. Something I wanted to bring up. I managed to snatch this from your grandfather, apparently. It's something that belongs to him. Before, whenever I grabbed something from the hags, they managed to scry on us through it and speak to us through it. Could that work in the reverse? And I look at Raw.
Raw kind of cocks an eyebrow. It's quite smart of you, I can't even deny it. Also dangerous since they can do the reverse to you.
I'm aware, but we are being rushed by this, and this is something that we could use temporarily. I know I said I wouldn't do it again, but it was a heat of the moment. Once we do this, then we can get rid of it. But it's an opportunity.
So basically, this is another severed head incident, isn't it?
In a way, I stole something that belonged to your grandfather, so as a result, it could work in that way, but we could also use it if we have someone who can do that.
Yeah. Raw size. I ain't even going to ask what the severed head incident was. I don't have the energy to even process that right now, but you gave it to me, I could attempt to scry.
Alright, I do want to, he was using it, so I want to try something first, and then I will lay out the paper for drawing blueprints like I do when I'm casting Identify.
Alright, you do, and it is a Staff of Withering.
Okay, well, this has necrotic magic to it. Nothing more dangerous than your sword, and I point to Luna's sword, but it does have its own necrotic power to it as well.
Yeah. As you look it over, in particular, you notice it seems to be like this gnarled black tree branch that you see in particular. It even has barbs at certain points at it, where toward the ends of it, and also just kind of lining these deep set runes and infernal.
I hand the staff over to Rawl once I've identified it.
Okay. Rawl looks it over, is like, be about 10 minutes for me to do the ritual, but yeah.
And once you perform the ritual, if we have something that we can store it in until, or if we just think that the better option would be to destroy it, or, I mean, my pockets are pretty deep on my jacket, but I doubt that I can store something like that within it. Too big.
Yeah. You take it to the Platinum Vault, they'd buy it off of you. It'd be a safe option. Get some money, gold out of it.
DM, when we're on the material plane, what I know from the city that we were in, how far the Platinum Vault was.
It was in the same district as you.
Okay, so once we get back to the material plane, we could do that, but we would also need to... I want to conceal this the best that we can. I'll try my jacket, but I was told that there are limits because it has dimensional pockets within it, so it would be another dimension that we could store the item within.
I have the bag version of your jacket.
You do?
Yeah.
No. Well, we can do that. Once he's scryed on these people to see, we could store it away in your dimensional rift, and hopefully that means they won't be able to scry on us because it won't be where we are.
Yeah. I should also clarify out of above table. The Platinum Vault were the people that you handed over the book to after you escaped the manor.
I remember.
Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. It was a while ago.
I missed that book.
Yeah, those guys. What were you going to do with it?
Things. And stuff.
All right. So, after a while, Raw concentrates on it, and he pulls out a small. He reaches into a little side satchel he has around his waist, and he pulls out a small glass orb. Kind of looks like a crystal ball. As he starts to concentrate, it floats off the air slightly and seems to glow with this bright fire inside of it. And after 10 minutes of casting, he looks up and says, "They're not on this plane. They must have plane shifted somewhere."
Well, we could try it again once we're on the material plane and to see if they're there. I mean, this has been a lot that has happened in the past few minutes.
Yes, and luckily, what Maddie and Luna are kind of meant to kill fiends, since holy women and all. Since generally pit fiends are known to be the actual, basically generals of the hells, and also they're devils, not demons. Pretty key distinction. Devils are organized and more dangerous in that sense.
How about we just stick with the fiends then?
Yeah, fiends work. That is technically what they are. But it explains how he had a whole invasion force behind him, and I guess I don't know, but it's a right mess, that's for certain.
Then maybe the question we need to ask is why he needs a force that are meant to defeat other fiends.
I mean, if you're trying to rule
he has
over...
to hold what he owns. His little bit of a vacation here probably threw his whole little under empire in disarray. So we've got a bit till he organizes everything he has back to normal before we have to deal with him again. Or at least that's what I'm thinking.
But also, if you wanted to...
Go ahead.
I was just saying, if you want to rule over a particular group of people, then best to have their weakness.
Before we continue, I'd like to kind of like open up like the stitching where that sending stone was and kind of present it to everybody. Can we make sure we're not heard?
So, do you want to store that away?
Yeah.
I take it in a put it in my jacket pocket.
I wouldn't keep it with us, is what I'm saying. Because Harper has the other piece.
Well,
And
Do we wanna get
also
Harper?
some-
I don't know if any of you noticed, but Harper was amongst them.
I noticed. I didn't want to. But, yeah, Harper is working with these people, which means Harper knows things.
But also, I do want to say that Harper was trying to warn us. I didn't mention it because, well, I didn't have all the information. But no prior prep could have actually prepared us for this, so... Didn't know it was actually pit fiends that we were going to be dealing with.
Luna, Maddie, what were you going to say?
Oh, it escaped. Train off track.
But, so, I mean, from what I know about these particular devices, because the twins have one of them, they can transmit a message to someone else on another plane, or even on the same plane, but it's not, you have to willingly activate it. So it should be okay to store it away in a pocket dimension and nothing would be heard.
But I'm afraid since Harper has the other piece, if...
You could scry.
Exactly. He could scry or identify and find out where we are.
Well,
It is a
again,
beacon.
if we do put it in a pocket space, then scrying wouldn't necessarily work because it wouldn't be on our person. It would be in another dimension.
I mean, it worked with your skull incident.
I didn't have a pocket space back then. I was just keeping it in a bag.
Fair enough. But also, he managed to message me... Well, he messaged me through different planes, so... I don't know. I'll leave it up to you all to see if it's worth keeping around. Speaking of which, my pockets do the same thing now. And I kind of like... bring out like just some random object in my pockets.
Cyrus pulls out a comically large stick.
Yeah.
That's useful.
Emerald's
well,
just pocket lint.
If you feel so on edge about this, then yes, we should keep this stone in another room while we discuss. We have multiple rooms.
And if you feel it's safe, I'm fine with keeping it on my person as long as it's in a separate pocket. But I figured I might as well let everyone know.
Also, if we're feeling daring enough, we could potentially reach out to Harper. If he was warning us about this, then there's something to that. Even though he is working with them.
We don't know if we've burnt bridges with him yet, okay? We don't know if he's against us. We know he's just with them, okay? You see what I'm getting here? We don't have to burn bridges if we don't have to.
I know. Just be cautious. We'll be cautious going forward with him.
I mean, he wouldn't have
Because we
given
don't-
me this coat and the sending stone to warn if he wasn't at least thinking of us.
So that's where you got the coat then.
Yeah.
Well, I should also say under the same merit, if you got the coat from Harper, wouldn't he be able to scry on it?
He would need something attached to the coat, wouldn't he?
Well, they've met us. Could they not just scry on us?
I don't know the full nature. It's beyond me. I've just known that it's been done with items before.
Yeah.
At that point, Raw sighs. Yes, they all know you well enough just to scry on you if they want to.
Oh, so then
Well-
we don't have to make any extra precautions. They already know our every move.
Well, we should.
Well,
maybe we-
they can see us, but if how much information does that actually give them?
roll.
They'll know that we're alive, but that'd be about it.
Raw's like, you can look at someone and some vague details around them, but it's not like you're opening up an entire window and just talking to them through it, or looking at them through it.
Can
Scrying's kind of limited in that.
they hear us if we speak?
Yeah, they can hear you.
And when we're talking about something important, write it down, keep it hidden as much as you can. We don't know when they're scrying on us, so our important talks we should keep in written form.
Okay.
And then once we're done talking, destroy.
So you tell me I have to be secretive? I'm not good at that.
Oh darn! Whatever shall you do?
But okay, so we have Harper, who's potentially a wild card. We don't know what to expect on that end. We have the Sphene, who is connected to the twins and their family. We don't know what their motive is, but
Not to mention the hags that are connected to the twins in some way, whether they're connected to the pit fiend or connected to them in a separate fashion. We don't know.
we don't know what the connection there is either. But could it be something to do with your family, your bloodline in general? I mean, it was your grandmother, your aunt, your cousin, and you two.
Sure, father really never talked to us about our family. For all
Yeah,
I
like
knew, we didn't have any.
Yeah, that was the first time we ever saw any of those people.
There,
So asking us for like blood lineage and things like that, we have no idea.
No clue whatsoever.
well, seems like your main source is your grandmother. She has to know something more. I mean, she watched you grow up, so at some point this had to happen to you. Something had to happen to you.
I do know when we were younger, we went and lived with Grandma when we were 8.
You went to live with who?
Graham.
Yeah, when we were 8.
Grant. So it could have happened to you before then, or happened to you during. But your outbursts, you guys have no memories of the outbursts. So if they were happening when you were 8, there's a chance that your grandmother would know.
Yes, that's possible.
Yeah, she's pretty much the only person that we can ask right now.
Yeah.
Well, we should rest as best we can while we wait for her to be done with her business. We have questions that need answers.
That's fair enough. And Cyrus just sort of like starts lounging with like a fake cup of tea.
And at that point, Raw's like, to give it specifics on scrying, essentially, for someone does it, the better they know you have to have any physical objects of yours, it's easier to actually cast a spell and harder for them to save against it. But if you don't resist it, they can watch what you do for about 10 minutes, and you see everything within like a little 10-foot space of them.
So we should know if we're being watched.
Well, possibly. If you could see invisible things, you'd see a little invisible, little orb staring at you.
Yeah.
I don't believe that you have a gadget that can do that, can you, Marcus?
I do, and because it's useful, I generally keep it prepared. So yeah, I could give it a try if that's what y'all wants to do.
I think we're fine right now, but at least whenever we are discussing important matters. Maybe whenever we're talking to Graham.
Yeah, it's another setting in my goggles that allow me temporarily to see things that are invisible.
Another way to cover ourselves. I don't think we have to worry then.
Well, whenever we want to discuss something important that we want to keep hidden, let me know and I'll give a look around.
Yeah, DM, I'm gonna go walk around, look at the damage if we're done talking. And I'm gonna look for one thing in particular. I'm looking for fallen water elementals.
I knew it. I knew one of you was going to do it.
Yeah, you mentioned they come out of pillars, and if it's an invasion of demons, somebody has to fall.
Oh yeah, because elementals for the tattoo.
Yeah, I dug through like a folder of notes to find this.
Yeah.
It's wisdom.
I know. Cyrus wouldn't know what you're doing, but above table, if you find any fire, which I doubt.
In this plane?
Considering
Just
that,
give them a shopping list.
yeah, considering that the only fire elementals.
I'll take it. Okay.
If
I've got 5 miles though, so
yeah, considering
Emmerich, you're
that the
prone to
only
bad
fire
luck with
ones.
elementals.
Considering that the only fire elementals like left because we beat them, or like the
Yeah.
I doubt, but just in case.
Okay. All right. So, Emmerich, make a perception check, and I will allow you to have advantage on it because werewolf.
Smell the water.
20 total.
Yep. It has this particular sense of water. Oh my gosh, you got 20. All right then. Now roll a D100.
Ooh, okay. I have to remember how to do this.
I'm doing this a percentile chance because of just has this been cleaned up yet or not?
I don't know what that is. It's
You rolled a 6.
6 and 6 total. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. 2 zeros and a 6, yeah.
All right. So, what? So you're looking around to damage, but in particular, you have an idea of something that may help you, as you get a smell cast in your nose. It's kind of strange, watery smell, as in water elementals have a very keen scent to them. In particular, it's like the normal. Well, does water even really have a scent to it? Now I think about it. I know.
Yeah, water has a scent.
Yeah, it depends on where the water came from.
Yeah.
Well, that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
you're smelling in the water. You smell the magic water.
Okay. I was more thinking. It kind of smells like like spring water. It's just natural and pure in its way.
A first element.
Mm-hmm.
And you're catching that smell somewhere, as you see a few puddles on the ground that you see some servants cleaning up.
Okay. And what is that there?
Do you say that to a servant?
Yeah.
It's like, just mopping up some of the remains of some water elementals that were summoned to fight off the horde.
Here, step away. Like, he sacrificed himself. We might as well see that it wasn't in vain. Okay, he can be put to better use. And just sort of,
Pardon?
just trust me. Just being as solemn as I can here.
You sound so ominous.
Yeah.
I remember, I'm not a very tactful person. Okay,
As you
my
pull up, like,
conversations
illuminate
end with
picture.
threats and vague insults.
He was meant for a better purpose. Step aside.
Trust me, as you pull out a lemonade picture.
Versus them sweeping him up.
It's like that.
Just make a general charisma roll.
Ooh, oh no.
It's like that episode from Futurama with like the water people,
Mhm.
and he just like brings out a straw.
Ooh.
Oh.
6. He's kind of intimidated, just like,
Well, if you're just going to dispose of him, we can at least put him to better use to help fight what he died for.
Sir, I just don't know what you mean.
Just watch, okay? And I'm going to take out a vial and just start to work.
Sir, and around that point, a guard kind of goes,
you. Okay? And are you, a servant, really going to tell me what I can or can't do?
Hey, get Emerald.
Jeez, Emerald.
I tried being nice. I
Make an
tried.
intimidation roll this time.
Okay, intimidation.
Did you really try though? Did you?
I tried. It was my own form. 13.
Just a simple servant, so he just kind of turns on a heel, puts his mop in his mop bucket, and just pushes it away without a word.
So now I feel bad, but I'm going to do my thing.
But you are able to get the remains of 3 water elementals total.
Ooh.
Nice.
So that's 2 vials left.
How many
Alright, I'm
vials
going to go
of
back
are
and
you
see.
trying to get?
I think it's, where did I have it wrote? 2 for base, 5 for second, and then an epic for a 3rd level. I don't know if I'm going to get this tattoo. I'm an opportunist, okay?
I was wondering if anyone would ever pick up on that, because as soon as I included water elementals, like, someone's going to do it.
Oh yeah, like I was immediately throwing plans. It went a lot smoother in my head, but things normally do.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
always does.
I think that
The
went
servant
smooth.
just wrings out his mop bucket for you.
I never.
That could have gone a lot worse.
Yeah. I mean, no one died. No one's bleeding.
You're not arrested.
Yeah. I mean, like, I'm literally doing his job for him. I'm just putting it to use. I'm recycling.
Yeah, he... But you take a look around, and you see most of the market areas pretty much seem to have been completely sacked. Like, it's strange in particular, as you take a closer look, you notice it isn't just the place got destroyed. It seems a lot of the merchandise that was here already was taken.
All the souvenirs.
Not souvenirs, more like actual stuff that kind of had more value to it, like food, some of the stuff that was being sold in the markets by like traders and vendors and such.
Okay, so it is just random plundering. It's not anything was targeted in particular.
Not that you've seen, no, but you do see the souvenirs, especially all the Ludwig merchandise is still there.
They don't want
As
them.
you notice, Ludwig actually has his face on some T-shirts and little figurines of him and little pins.
Just scoff at that and keep walking. Yeah. If there's nothing that really stands out of this particular what they targeted, I'll go back to the group.
Okay. And on your way back, actually, you notice in particular that there definitely is more guard patrols than there normally was before. Like, you even see a few water elementals actively moving around when before you didn't see any.
Do
In
not
particular,
kill
it
them.
seems to see groups of 3, coupled by 1 water elemental for each.
Okay. It's hotel security's beefed up.
Target acquired.
It's target acquired.
Do not kill them.
I don't know, I got 2 more vials to fill. And look mighty juicy.
Okay. You make it back. You make it back to the room, and will anyone else have anything they'd like to do?
Marcus is just kind of sitting there going over everything that happened, trying to piece things together.
Cyrus is just kind of relaxing in the corner with his fake tea.
Cyrus, you realize I have coffee if you want something actually.
You realize, this isn't real, right?
I am aware you've done that before.
Yeah, it's just something I do.
Right?
It's more of I don't know. You'd probably call it like a meditation kind of thing.
No, understood.
Just a relaxation pose.
Alright. But you come back and you see that Rawl has pretty much finished the whole pot of coffee. He's just kind of staring at the ceiling angrily. Everyone's doing their best to relax.
The twins are in.
Would you like to say anything to the group?
Who, me?
Yeah, I was just wondering, like, look what I got, boys!
Nah, I ain't gonna bring it up till it's relevant.
Okay. Alright. So. You, time goes on as all of y'all are resting. In particular, as the time's going on, Kiara's doing her best to try and keep the mood light with the twins, talking to them for a little bit. You see, everyone's just seems to be tired and just trying to get themselves ready for whenever things calm down. But eventually, after 5 hours of just silence and resting, the door opens up and you see Ludwig himself comes in. It's like, the mighty warriors of the day.
Oh, hello.
Hello! I understand if all of you must be feeling a little down. It's understandable. It seems like some heavy stuff was dropped on all of you, but I am happy to say Mary is ready to see you in his audience hall, and bequeath unto you your rewards.
Yeah. Alright. I walk over to the twins, and I kind of like kneel down since they're like sitting. I understand that a lot has happened, but I mean, you get it. We getting what we came here for.
You're finally gonna be free.
Yeah. Has anyone actually thought about the wording?
Yeah.
I think we need to
Rather not
explain.
disappear along with the curse.
I think we need to explain. We need to explain the circumstance first, and that'll be the easier way. I imagine this person will be understanding of the explanation that we give.
Yeah, I'm assuming this is a reward. They're not going to try to backstab us, so we're probably worrying more than what we have to, but it never hurts to.
I say that what we do is we explain the situation, and then go from there.
Sounds good to me.
We'll give it a shot.
We have your back.
Always.
Thanks, guys. Because if you haven't noticed, things around us just got weirder.
Don't expect me to keep being sentimental.
At this point, I'm kind of used to. At this point, I'm used to the weirdness that I've gotten into this group. More entertaining than I was doing before.
Yep. Let's go.
We are ready.
Alright. Ludwig's like, excellent, let's go. As Ludwig turns on a heel with a rifle thrown over his shoulder, just leads you out. Rawl's the only one that goes with you for this. In particular, he seems he wants, seems he definitely wants Kiara to hang out there, just especially with all the tension going on. And And Arden has not actually returned yet.
Strange.
Hmm.
Do we need to check on Arden?
I mean, Arden was part of our team,
Okay.
Yeah.
so could we really celebrate without him?
A lot.
Lou was like, excellent point. I heard he apparently has refused to leave the little makeshift medical center they have set up in the spa. So I will send word for him to come that you request it. As he came in with all the other healers, claimed to be of aid, and when we told him no, he forced his way past some people and proceeded to bandage some wounds anyways.
Well, I mean, if he's helping people, then it might be best to leave him there.
But we definitely want him to have his honor at least. So at least a
admire
mention.
his diplomacy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do request that he at least gets a mention.
Yes. His name should go along with us.
Yes.
Yes, of course. As he whispers to a guard, like, okay, go get our champions, go. He's like, yes, sir. And he runs off as you were all taken by armed escort to through the place.
That sounds
As you
right.
go through, few people see you and kind of cheer a bit as you were the people that finally defeated the happy to see you. Just like, hey, good job out there. Yeah.
Cyrus just kind of like waving like the royal wave, just kind of taking it all in.
The Barbie doll wave.
Yeah.
Maddie's just more worried. She's like, we're not going to do this wish in front of all the people, right?
No. Lou was like, no. The audience hall's more private. As you make your way to the far end and cross past a path leading past a spa, and you see you're on the outside now in a small little dock that you see has a barge waiting for you. As Ludwig points to a building across a small little strait of ocean, like, that is where we are going. I see this grand building, just this grand white marble building across the way that you see. Seems to be this big open area, just covered in marble pillars, holding up a ceiling above it. As all of you get on the barge and make your way over, you get closer, you see it seems to be this a garden in the middle of this open ocean. As you get docked there, you see there's various palm trees, tropical fruits, all sorts of flora around here. You see various servants and people talking amongst themselves. Most of the people here look like they're of some noble bearing. As Ludwig's like, this is Mary's private little guest area. Most of his wealthy friends like to mingle and hang around here. It's also his favorite little meeting area.
Very nice. Seeing things
Yeah.
there I haven't seen anywhere else plant-wise.
Yeah. Yes. I assume most of you don't get around the tropics much. I wasn't either until I came here. Now I cannot imagine going back to the gray void I am from.
Where are you from?
This is the...
If you don't mind me asking.
My kind, mighty gift are from the astral plane. We have a collection of colonized planets out there. They're all right. They're glorious sights of battle and valor. As a lot of our folk have traveled around for mercenary work. Me, that was about my life until I eventually got here, and this is where I like to stay. But most of my planets are very industrial and not really on the floral side, you can say.
Industrial day.
Oh, yes.
Sounds like it'd
Well,
be interesting to visit.
As you see, and he holds up his rifle, it seems you're one of the few people I've seen that has one of them. It seems to not be a common practice in your land, but where I'm from, these are very commonplace. Black powders everywhere.
These are more common where I'm originally from, in the material plane. I'm from a mountainous region, mostly dwarves in that area.
That makes sense.
It's less common. It's less common if you go away from that region.
I see. All right. Anyways, Tamare, and he makes his way up into in there. Toward the center of the little garden, you see in particular, surrounded by some fountains and some little wading pools. You see, I see some people sitting in them, relaxing in them. Mary sees you come, he's like, welcome. And he whispers to a servant, and you see a servant kind of start ushering people off the little island. And it's like, it is great to see all of you here. I was just talking to an old friend of mine. And you notice one of the people sitting there is Graham, actually.
Oh.
And he's like, little did I realize the adopted granddaughters were one of our champions, related to one of our former champions.
Small world, ain't it?
Oh, it is. As Graham's like, oh, stop! That was a long time ago. It's like, no, did you not see? As he holds up his hand, a small illusion appears, and you see one of the statues from the arena. And it's like, this is her.
Oh.
As you get a better look at the statue, you see is the statue of a young elven woman wearing a very similar armor to what Graham is wearing now.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Look at that, YouTube. The cycle continues with YouTube being champion now.
Yeah, Mary's like, oh, yes. Quite the fighter today. Still is. I saw that fight with the Pit Fiend. It was great. And I heard you other grandkids just as strong. As with that being said, there's a splash as a head sticks out from one of the pools. I see a younger sea elf in there, and he's like, oh, Grandma. As he sticks his head out real quick. He's, let's say younger. He's probably in his hundreds, but still a sea elf. Still so young for him. You see, he's wearing light leather armor, dyed green. He has a scimitar at his side. He has short, spiky green hair. And it's like, he's with them. And he approaches both the twins and is like, hi, I'm Fiv and Riptide. I hear we're cousins.
Daddy, this is Luna. I guess we are.
Technically, yeah.
Well, technically speaking, if you both have the same grandmother, wouldn't that make you more closer to siblings, if anything?
They're adopted.
Shush.
She's a sea elf.
He's like,
Daddy and Luna are Osmore. Like full-blooded Osmore.
Hey. It's not the family you're born with. It's the family you choose.
It's the family that's Maybelline.
The blood of the covenant is stronger than the water of the womb.
Yes.
Or thicker, yeah.
Oh, look at that, you two. You have an older brother, technically, I guess.
Yeah. Tim's like, oh, yeah, I guess on all technicality sense, it makes, it's true, just, I gotta get close to that. already have a few siblings. I'll introduce you one day.
Yeah. Well, it'd be nice to actually meet family that didn't want to turn us into demons.
Kill us out, or just kill us outright.
Yeah.
Yeah, our family's known to fight, but it's generally in the sparring kind, not what that was. I'm sorry. I would have helped, but I kind of had a few hellhounds after me. It was quite a day.
Yeah.
We call it Tuesday.
But isn't it Thursday?
I almost just want to ask the universe, do they have anything else to hit me with before?
Graham's like, well, and Fiven's like, oh, the Riptide family's actually one of the strongest families in the Salty Dogs island. And Graham's like, Fiven, don't come off as you're bragging. And he's like, well, but we are. He's like,
Well, yes, but you should say it.
Not gonna lie. Discord cut out on me, and I heard none of that. All I heard was, actually, they're the strongest
okay.
And I was like, hello?
Okay.
Guys?
Fiven said they're the strongest family from their island.
Okay.
As she kind of sighs, like, technically, yes. My son and his dad is the current admiral of the Sea Elf people from the Salty Dog Island.
Military.
Finn's like, oh yes, all of our family's in the military.
I just immediately look at Graham and I'm like, you were in the military?
That explains a lot.
She kind of shrugs a bit. I dabbled, I guess.
Daddy still looks at her like, that explains a lot.
Okay, I'm just gonna straight
Flashback
up
to all
ask
of her training she had with Graham. That explains a whole lot.
I'm just trying not to laugh out loud.
I'm gonna
Flashback
straight
to
up
punishments,
ask a
too.
question. I'm gonna straight up ask a question. Who all is technically nobility?
Wait, are you just asking that to the room? Like everyone in here?
Because we're finding out several people in several different times are in like families with a lot of power, and I'm just curious now.
Mary raises his hand.
You see,
Thank you.
You see Cyrus
Would've
kind of
guessed.
thinking about it, like, am I?
I mean,
But he doesn't say anything out loud.
Graham's just like, not nobility. We have just gained some notoriety after many years of service and dedication. But if you have to know, I was the head priestess of the army for a while.
So you're pseudo nobility.
No, I just earned that title from years of service and dedication.
I mean, there's a knighthood, and then there's being a general. It's a type of military step. To be a knighthood nobility, it would cause you to be raised to a position of knighthood by the ruling member of the nation.
Or granted the title by someone with the authority.
Yeah, but that would take someone very high up the chain.
Well, let me put it like this: I'm an elf, and I'm a follower of Vitor, the wind spirit. So, I naturally want to be free as much as possible, but I felt myself tied down to too many responsibilities, so I wanted to get away from it all. So, I went to live a simple life on the mainland countryside. and that is how I met them. So, you can understand my aversion to everything you're saying right now, I assume?
Oh yeah, I can understand. No one wants the responsibility. It's just curious how I'm falling in with everything I am.
Quite fair. And it's not that I didn't like the responsibility. I quite enjoyed my position. It was just more... didn't like being treated as I was some... noble. So I just wanted a fresh start, and here I am. And Fibbin's like, yeah, she wasn't gone for that long. It was only about 20 years.
That's the vast majority of all of our lives, you realize.
I was 2 when she was around.
Fibbin just kind of pauses for a second. It's like, oh, right.
Yeah, see, we die early. It's a tragic thing.
Sorry, getting used to that.
That's Popo.
And Mary's like, anyways, such a touching reunion, and... oh, I do believe we're joined by someone else, as you hear armor clamping behind you, as Arden comes up, still completely blood-soaked. He has not stopped it at all, it seems.
Can't stop, won't stop.
As Arden comes in, I like walk over to Arden and say, I could like clean you up a bit if you would like.
He just kind of pauses and is like, if it would not be a problem for you.
It's up to you. Do you wish me to?
I'm fine.
Careful using those words.
Then, yeah, I won't do it since he doesn't want me to, so I'll walk back over to where I was.
Cyrus would actually like to speak of it like, as in, he's asking, is the blood an honor thing, or would you like to feel refreshed?
I'm not feeling lightheaded anymore, I'm just fine.
Just clean him up, make him look presentable.
I'll obey his wishes. If he doesn't wish to, I'll leave him be for now. I can do it later.
As Mary's like, good to see all of you here. Now, I have to express my deepest apologies that even happened. That has never happened in all of our time of doing this. We've had some people angry, but never a full-scale invasion. That was quite a mess.
Yeah, it was kind of strange, and not sure how tactful it was.
I mean, taking off an entire plane filled with random entities from all over.
Question.
Oh, yes. Quite.
A slight question about that, though. We've noticed
of course,
more rifts in the material plane. Is there something that we don't know about, like, the planes right now? Are there, for some reason, getting closer?
Well, that's just been a growing problem since... well, it's been about 700 years now.
And something to keep an eye on. We've seen more while we've been traveling together than I have ever seen. I've only ever heard of rifts, never seen one until we started traveling.
Oh, yes. The rifts are... they're their own problem. I'll occasionally have one open to the water plane. That's always been... it's something I catch wind of every now and then. Well, as far as I know, no. Oryx has always been... he's always been Oryx, but... as my encounters with him go, he was just... I guess okay for your average pit fiend.
So it's strange that he would just betray your trust like that.
Oh, yes, of course. I mean, as you were saying, there's plenty of notable people here. There's a lot of people aggravated at him now. Quite frankly, I am very peeved at him. I'm definitely not inviting him to my next wine and dine. But, or the matter, and yes, I probably will not be trading with Dis as much as I have until we get all this settled out.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know the
Dis is Vince, you're kind of cutting out a bit.
Do you know the Lord he serves?
Oh, as far as I know, he doesn't serve anybody. He's he's from Avernus, so that would put him under Zariel's. I'm pretty sure Zariel's domain. But as far as I know, he's had his own little independent faction of devils for quite some time. If anything, I heard he's more of a mercenary than anything these days.
See, does that answer everyone's question then? It's an independent faction that we're fighting, that we're against. Thankfully, it's not the full force of the Hells coming after us.
Still, he was able to launch this invasion. So, he has pull.
But his own pool.
But it's better than taking off a lord of this place.
It's no kiddie pool, but yeah, at least it's not the entirety of his dimension.
We know.
That we know.
Very good point.
Grand. Well, add it to the list.
Yeah. More troubles we'll have to deal with later.
Add it to the list of enemies. Book of Grudges.
Who wants us dead? Okay.
That's a long list by now.
Yeah.
That is.
Potentially another cult. Here we go. Right on this side of the list.
That's just sad at this point.
Are you really living life if you don't make some enemies?
I mean, a few enemies here and there, but like we're really building a list here.
It just means we're living life
Working on a
full.
book.
We're popular. Apparently.
That's one word to use, yeah.
Infamous? That's a better one.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, Infamous is good. It gives you a quite nice, rough, roguish tone to you. And the whole time you're having that conversation, Graham is just side-eyeing you two very hard.
Shut up.
We like seeing,
Enemies? What
Do we-
enemies? We never would have enemies.
Do we notice she's side-eyeing us?
In particular, you do, Luna, yes.
Maddie says that, she just starts sweating. She's like, ignore what I said about the book. Just ignore it.
Yeah. Yeah, Maddie senses it.
She's been on the end of that side-eye look too many times.
What have you done?
Just means we have to get
Anywho, on
stronger.
to a different subject.
Actually, on that topic, you two, we need to speak to your grandmother about this before we decide something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As Mary's like, ooh, am I caught right in the middle of family drama?
No, we're hoping you might be the cure for it, honestly.
Or at least a really good
Oh.
band-aid.
I have been known
Marcus.
to do that before. You would be surprised how many people come to me with their just crazy problems.
Marcus taps the twins on the shoulder and he kind of like steps back and let them have this to
I
explain
guess-
everything.
The best thing to do is just sort of explain to you what we're wishing for before it's done.
Yeah, before actually
If
saying
you
it.
haven't, yeah, if you haven't caught on, my twin sister and I are cursed. And it doesn't seem like it stopped there. It seems like we have other family like that.
Oh,
This curse makes us go. Is it dark? Would you say dark?
well, that other Asmar chick we met said fallen.
Makes us seem fallen. But we're not actually fallen. We go back to normal. And it happens during very stressful times. And we just sort of let that curse, poof, God, no longer a part of us.
Okay. And Graham just kind of pauses and thinks for a bit. Then she's like, so that lines up with what I was thinking. Okay. I cannot imagine what you girls have gone through in your journey, and I am so sorry, and I wish the best when it comes to removing it, and I'm sure you can do that, can't you, Mary?
That was like a warning.
Yeah.
Maddie gets a chill down her spine like I've been on that toe before.
Mary's like, oh yes, we're jumping right to it, aren't we? So I take it that is your wish. You want this curse removed from you two.
Could we include the entirety of their family?
Well, Mary's like,
That's an
well, if
idea.
that's what you wish.
I don't want us for future to go in to have children and it gets passed on to them.
Of course, of course.
So if there's a
But
way
also-
to remove it from our lineage, bloodline entirely, that'd be ideal.
Also, think about this. If that works, then we effectively make the people we fought today weaker.
Mm-hmm.
Or release his grip on them altogether?
But one issue with that statement, though. If they are relieved of this curse, they're in this pit fiend's domain.
Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking too.
Yeah.
The real question is, I feel like that's still the better option, because if we release it from these two, but not from their family, then if they ever have offspring of their own in the future, there's like what they said, there's a chance that it'll be passed on to them. I think we would have to sever this from the entire line.
It is not my decision to make.
Yes, it's your two. It's up to you.
Maddie looks at Luna, and then she looks at Graham.
How far can we push this? Could we wish everyone affected by this curse here and cured of it?
Mary's just like, I will do my best.
That would A, get them away from the danger, B, bring them here for questioning if they can remember anything, and C, clear all of this trouble.
If it's possible, that's an idea.
I'm sorry, we're being difficult here. We're trying to ironclad this out.
Oh, understandable. It's good you're not going into this willy-nilly. Plenty of people have made mistakes doing that with a lot less kind, Jen.
You're being extremely generous, and we thank you for it.
Oh, you gave us quite the show of a lifetime. Quite literally, I'll be repairing this for a while now, but I guess that's showmanship sometimes.
What do the two of you think? That wish to take this away from all of your bloodline into bringing those people here. If that can be done.
I would be okay with that if that could be done.
I also just really want it to be removed from us as well. Like,
Yes, if that plane is across, then
We shoot high, and if we miss, then we take what we can get.
Yeah.
yeah, let's try that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So, what exactly is it that you're wishing for?
Well,
had all that
Figured
explained out. It was just
do
like,
y'all want to do the wording, or do you want Amarok? Since he did explain it pretty well.
maybe Amarok, since he did explain it very well. 'cause
God, yo, I
Yeah.
haven't talking.
As also he's like, but first, it warrants as part of the apology you get, as he holds up his hand and two servant girls push out a cart completely covered in gold. You get the second prize as well, since the second prize people aren't here to collect it.
Oh,
No.
oh,
So take this as a bit of an apology. As there is a cart getting pushed to you with... Anyone ready to write this down?
hit me.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I was running my speech here, but hit me.
Okay. 1,500 gold.
Okay.
140 platinum.
Ooh, dang.
7,000 silver.
Hey,
And 500 copper.
alright.
Alright. And he's like, and for this... and Raw's like, if it's my gold, just give him that and send my gold to me. I'll take care of it later. As Mary's like, ah, Rawl, in your old age, I thought you'd be more fun. And Rawl just very stoically is like, yeah, I'm too stubborn. Okay, and also, other than that, on the cart, you see in the pile is one vial. As the servant girl passes to you, it's like, oh, this is the oil of sharpness to whoever would like it.
Of what?
The oil of sharpness.
What does it do?
It makes a single item a +3 for a minute.
Jesus.
Something like that.
Does it work on anything? Any weapon? Does it have to be
Unfortunately,
a blade?
just bladed or piercing weapons.
Not really my strong suit. I have a sword that I have literally never used.
Cyrus might be interested if no one else is.
I say, I mean, you, Cyrus, Amarok, and Maddie all use weapons that fit the criteria.
Yeah.
yeah.
We can decide that later.
Okay. Yeah, okay. As you see a even larger cart that was about to be pushed up and given to Law, as Mary's just waving them off, they turn around and push it away. And also, he's like, and there's this! As you see little figurines, actually, as he, you see small little carved in bluestone figures of each of you.
Oh,
I got two little statues of me now.
oh yeah, there's one I carved.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is one of each of you and Arden.
look at the craftsmanship. Is it? You said it's blue, so is it like painted wood or something else entirely?
It seems to be some kind of blue stone that's carved into this, and it looks great. Like it's really well detailed.
It's mithril.
It's not mithril.
Oh, thank you. Very realistic.
Oh, no trouble at all. Arden's just kind of staring at it strangely, just... He just kind of sets it back on the cart evenly. One of you can have it if you want.
I mean, it's a souvenir. You know? I mean, there were bad parts of this, but, I mean, you can remember that to this day? For whatever it's
Don't
worth.
need any idols of myself.
Okay, understood. I hold on to it for now. We'll cite things later.
Okay. And next with that pushed away, Mary's like, now for the big reveal. So I can grant people's wishes to an extent, but the wording is important, since sometimes reality can be cruel and quite literal. Not literate.
But
I do try and give people what they ask for.
So, with the wording that we gave so far, still, I would prefer, since it was Emeroc's idea, and he worded it well, if it was up to him to make the ultimate wish. And are you two okay with that?
Yep.
Yeah. Can he, before making the wish, read it out loud?
I can just write on a piece of paper and let everyone go over it.
Yeah.
Hang on, I'm just gonna take a picture of this. I ain't typing on this again.
You can say it out loud if you want.
Read it again. Just basically, we wish that all those affected by this curse, be they of this bloodline or any other, be brought before us and cured of this blight that has befallen them.
Straightforward. Clear.
Yep.
So,
I'm good with it.
I'm good with it.
I'm not fear of public speaking here.
I'm like eating, but I figured out. I am nervous. I am very nervous.
Save.
Yeah. I hate to ask you, but alright, just repeat that to Mary again so I make sure I hear it clearly.
We wish that all those affected by this curse, be they of this bloodline or any other, be brought before us and cured of the blight that has befallen them.
Okay. There's an important distinction.
Oh no.
Oh,
Alright.
so they use the word blight.
As Mary's just like, it shall be done. As he holds up his hands, you see...
Review here.
Mary holds up his hand and starts distorting the air a little bit. And as he does, you see water just start to float in the air around him. And heads over to Luna and Maddie, and just you see as specks and sprinkles of water just kind of wash over you. And as you do, you feel a little lighter. He kind of sighed relief for a second. But then suddenly you're taken aback as you hear, "What am I doing here?" And all of you turn, and you see an Ozimar that you guys don't recognize.
I'm helping everyone. Okay?
And as you see this Ozmar wearing very rough-looking clothes, like very dirty trail clothes. He has the holy symbol of Luster around his neck. He has very untamed, wild hair, same color as Luna and Maddie's. And a holy symbol of Luster around his neck. He's looking at you very shocked. Just, what am I doing here? But no one else appears. As Mary's just like, something interfered with that. But the curse should be gone. That part went through, but something was holding the teleportation process. But he points like, that's someone from your bloodline.
I'm reading my...
As he pauses, like, what? And he's like, no, that's the thing. I'm looking for my mom and my brother, my grandpa. Wait.
Well, I have good news for you. One, you've just been cured of something that you might not have known you had. And two, we have information that may help you. And in fact, you have found allies.
Wait, no more blackouts?
No
No,
blackouts.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank Lester. When she went after me, I didn't know what to take of it. And when you hear that, Luna and Maddie, something pings in your mind. As when you hear "went after you," you flash back to a scene Maddie tries to forget all the time. As Maddie, you see your mother, but something's different about her. Something that buried itself very deep in your mind. It seems she went fallen as well and looked like Aunt Isa did before it all happened. As you start thinking harder, like, what? Did I forget anything else? As you look deeper, and things start to come back. Every time you blacked out now, all those memories come flashing back.
Maddie, upon seeing these memories, grips her head in pain and lets out a small scream. And then, as she's clutching her head, brings her hands down, looks at him, and her hands start shaking. And she starts saying over and over again, No, I wouldn't do that. No, please, I didn't do it.
Right.
And she starts hysterically sobbing before she screams out in anguish, collapses to the ground. And stares off blankly at his face.
And while Luna's memories are coming back, she just sort of went blank and like all the color drained from her face. And hearing Maddie's scream kind of brought her back. And DM, are there any reflective surfaces in this room that we're in?
There's the pools of water.
But are there any mirrors or anything?
No mirrors, no.
Okay, then. Then instead of that, she just has too many feelings going on. She has to do something. So she pulls out her mace and starts destroying the closest thing, the closest structure to her.
As Mary's like, oh, no, girl.
Oh, come on, that was so much money.
Just bought that. And Graham instantly runs over and grabs your hand like, Luna, Maddie, stop. Do you remember now?
Maddie
Luna-
does not answer. She is staring with tears pouring down her face blankly into the distance.
Luna just pulls her hands away, drops her mace, and starts punching anything close by. Like, still wall, not people, but still wall. And just still, her hands are bloody.
At that point, she just kind of lets you, like she's one tire herself out, but's not sure how to handle it. As at the same time, you see the new Ozimar standing there. It's just like, what did I do? Wait,
You didn't do it.
No, they're. Oh god, that's why they're after me. Oh no. That's why the Ozimars are after me. As he just kind of sits down on the ground, just taking it all in, of just, I was nearly like them.
Marcus tries to go over to Luna and tries to like grab her hand so he can like try to wrap her hand.
Yeah. Wait, so you grab my hands?
Yeah, I tried to grab your hands to try to wrap up your hands because you're bleeding.
I mean, she's still in a punching mood. So she kind of just shoves you away.
Are there servants around?
There's a few kind of watching in the distance, just like,
I'm gonna go up to one to say, hot tea with honey for everyone.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. And they run off quickly.
Let them escape.
Yeah.
Maddie, Luna, there's a lot. I'm assuming you remember now.
When you say Maddie's name, she gives no response, showing that she heard you at all.
None of this was your fault.
Luna stops when she hears you say those words. She turns around and says, "We killed our parents."
Oh.
Our mom was trying to attack us, and I didn't know what was going on. Neither did Maddie. We turned guard just like she did, and we killed her. And then our dad was trying to leave one night. Don't know why. We blacked out, and apparently we killed him then too.
Upon hearing words coming from Luna, Maddie starts shaking again and starts covering her ears. And she's like, no.
You
And Sai's like,
did not.
and the third Ozimar speaks up like, same happened to me, I helped my mom kill my dad. And then some tieflings came for us, and somehow I snapped out of it, but they never did, and I got away. They all disappeared when I came back to look for them. Without a trace, I've been looking for them for... I can't even remember how long now.
I have a question, and I present this to the one who cast Wish. When you remove the curse, could you sense its origin?
Mary's like, I've been thinking on that, yes. If I did something, yes, but something interfered with it to where only a few of them were sent here. It seems the ones that were sent here weren't fully taken by this curse, as this third person that I assume no one else knows who he is, who is having a fit on the floor like the rest of the angel folk in here.
Right. Because to them it's not a curse anymore. It is their entire being. But do you know the origin?
Well, that would help if, it seems, well, it seems this curse, if it has any effect on him, it shouldn't take hold, at least as easily as it used to. It shouldn't at all, but I guess, the original originator or whatever was used to cast it or stuff like that would have to be taken care of to fully get rid of it, if you, for the sake of the others.
No.
And
Well, I mean, do you know someone to blame? Is what I'm asking.
Rawl just steps up and is like, it's that dang coven. It's got to be them.
Are you for certain?
As Rawl's like, yeah, and he steps forward and he's like, Mary, can you teleport someone here for me? As Mary's like, well, Rawl's like, personal favor, I'll start coming more to your events if you actually do this. Mary's like, oh, great, sure. Who? And he's like, Lady of Woods. Actual name's, Pira, Geik. Just bring the Lady of the Woods here. You've heard of her, right? It's like, oh, yes, a friend of yours. And Rawl's like, no.
No.
It's like, all right, sure. As Mary claps his hands together, and instantly, the Lady of the Woods appears in the room with you. And she's like, huh? What? Oh, hey, everybody! I was just... As she's kind of hutched over, holding a stick. It seems she was mid-brewing, and she's like, oh, well, that potion's gonna spoil. What's, Oh, I am in the middle of something here, ain't I?
Yeah.
Well, it involves us, so you can assume, yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're looking for answers,
And
actually.
Mary's like, answers? Well, I may have solutions. What is it?
Rawl, what exactly did you want to speak to her about?
Okay. Rawl's just like, I got a hunch, but I've had a hunch for a while now. You think the Shade Grove Coven's the ones that cast them spells on the girls originally? It's gotta be some reason the Crow's been following them all this time, since they just love basking in others' misery. And she's like, well, the curse I saw had them written all over it, honestly. It makes sense.
Why would a pit fiend also hold other Azamar with the same curse? Well, a curse that's evolved to the point where it's completely consumed them.
She's like, well, pit fiends, they got a lot of talents, but they're not the most on the cursing side. That is hang domain. So, wait, a pit fiend. Oh, I missed something, but I'm assuming a pit fiend could enlist the help of them. I mean, hags like bartering and trading as much as anything else, so pit fiend must have offered him something really good to cast a curse on someone's bloodline.
I mean, it had to be. I mean, these are entities who have existed since, well, almost forever. It had to be something
Way too long.
Had to be something truly amazing for it to even register to them.
Well, there you have it. You have people to blame. The people who actually made you do those horrible things that you hate yourself for, you didn't do them. We have a target. We know who to direct your hatred towards. Do you want revenge?
Kind of has literally just been standing there silently, just kind of like staring down at her hands as they like lead onto the floor. Like she's listened to everything, but she's just kind of not there fully at the moment.
You're in shock.
Yeah. The truth.
Again.
If it's
Yeah, literally like, oh my goodness, fight or flight. Let's pump all the adrenaline
The
at
truth.
once. Let's just shut down.
Maddie has no inclination that she's heard you at all at this point. She has just been staring blankly at her hands the entire time.
The truth of the matter is, you have your demons, but you are not your demons. Someone did this to you, and luckily, they have a face. We have someone to direct your hatred.
we already knew that we were going to pursue these people. We have even more reason to pursue them now.
Exactly.
Nothing that you have done while under the influence of this curse on you, I know that doesn't really make it better, but it's not your fault that any of this happened. You all blacked out and didn't have memories of what happened until now.
And we
As you
know
say
that doesn't
that,
make it easy, but
Maddie is still staring at her hands, and she just looks up to you, and her face is just blank as she's just tears rolling down her face. She's like, we killed them.
Marcus walks over to her and pulls out a handkerchief, hands it to her, and kneels down. You did not. They did. These hags. They did it, not you.
But they use their bodies to do it.
They used you as a weapon. You don't blame the weapon, you blame the person wielding it.
You see Maddie takes the handkerchief, and then she starts scrubbing her hands vigorously with it. As it seems like she's trying to get something off her hands.
And Luna's still just staring at her bleeding hands like she's literally making no effort to heal them.
I try to, if she will allow me, to bring Luna over to Maddie.
Hey,
Luna just takes a step back.
At that point, Graham steps in. Girls, there's a time for grief, but right now, need to focus. What happened to your family? It's a horrid tragedy, and it was not your fault at all. I saw. Your father never blamed you. He never did once. He always wanted to save you.
Maddie looks up heartbroken. You knew we did it.
She sits down next to you and just puts her arm around you. Just yes.
She shrugs her off.
Luna actually turns.
Why didn't you kill us? Why didn't you kill me? We're monsters. We shouldn't.
No.
And she continues to scrub at her hands.
No. You're just a young girl that's fate's played a cruel trick on. And I'm not going to let your life be robbed from you like that. That's too cruel. You have a chance to make this right. And take care of what's done this to you. That's what your father wanted. He mentioned before everything that he went to the family he had left and said they were gone. I assume now that he meant the other people from the Colosseum, so he knew any chance your family had left was on you two. He always wanted a better life for all of you. He always told me how he hated raising you away from everyone else, just secluded. But he thought it was the only way to keep you as stress-free as possible. And just safe from the rest of the world. That's all he ever wanted, was just to protect you, and now...
We murdered him for it.
No, you didn't murder him. It was never you. Whatever those creatures in the woods did, it's on them. Them and that pit fiend.
We always knew that we were going to go out. We always had our reasons for going after them. This is even more of a reason. We've been with you up to this point, and we'll follow you to the end. But I feel like they need to suffer for this. They cannot be allowed to keep doing this.
Oh, no.
Again.
They are going to suffer for this. She just says it in like the flattest tone you've ever heard her say.
And that's a step. As I said, you did not do this. As she said, you did not do this. They made you into weapons, and then they used you as weapons. Cause misery. I know that doesn't make any of it better. I know that's not going to make you feel any type of peace about it now. But none of this is on you. You are not monsters. You are not bad people. Both of you are the only reason that I'm still here.
What you say about us not being monsters may one day sink in, but not right now.
Understand? I know you need your time.
Yep. Yeah, as the Lady of the Woods is like, yeah, I can confirm. The people in the Shade Grove Coven, they are real monsters.
Good. We know how to handle monsters. And like as Marcus says that, he will load the cold iron bullets. Just have them on him. Put the gun away.
She instantly reels back. Yeah, I hate those things. Yeah, they hate them as well.
Oh, I'm aware. I've got plenty of gifts to give them. 30 of them, if need be.
Yep. Raul, speaking of that, do you ever they ever actually decide what they're going to do with that book? As Raul's like, I'm getting to that. As Raul turns, well, I wasn't withholding this information from you. I just wanted you to concentrate on one thing at a time. As someone, and he kind of looks over off in a distance. Might as well reveal yourself now. I know you're hiding and stricken on your duties that you agreed to do. And with that being said, Balthus steps out from behind one of the pillars. And he's like, What? That was very fascinating. What's going on? I had to see the story till the end.
This is a private party. You're not invited.
And Mary's just like, ooh, tensing up even more. As Balthus steps forward, I represent a group of people that want to help you.
Help in what way?
help you to help us, classic equivalent exchange. You alchemists love that. As I... hey, what were you going to say?
Funny man has jokes.
I do! As he flicks his wrist and a coin comes out and he catches it and holds it to you. I represent another guild. And this does catch your interest, Amarok, as you always heard an urban legend that there's more guilds than just the main ones in the city. There's rumors of a shadow guild that operates beneath the city. And he holds a coin that's completely black in comparison to all the normal coin stamps that you're used to. As he holds up the coin, says, I represent the Shadow Guild.
I am very impressed. Okay. What's your business here?
He's like, well, in some of the forbidden knowledge that the Platinum Vault has decided to lock away, one of them just happened to be a book on how to kill the Shade Grove Coven.
And I'm assuming you have a plan, being so mysterious as you are, to acquire said book, and you need our help to do so. Is that
I don't. My boss says.
you're throwing down that I'm picking up?
Yeah. He's like, possibly. I mean, I can help you. And then at that point, Rawl speaks up. But I have an alternate solution as well. He just insisted on coming, so I figured the extra help wouldn't hurt, since Balthus is pretty skilled in his own ways.
Okay, so you knew he was the Shadow Guild member.
And Balthus is like, yes, but technically you owed me a favor.
Me?
Yes. I recently got the a building permit turned away from what they're called. What are they called? They hate you so much. They want to kill you, stick you on a pike with a silver pike in particular. Silver-blooded. That is why there was no major repercussions, as they were scrambling to get out of town, as they had nowhere to go.
See, the thing that worries me in all of this is that you're so willing to help. What are you getting out of this?
Oh, well, you'd have to talk to my boss about that, but in particular...
talking to you, what are you in particular getting out of this?
Oh, I'm just ordered to do this.
Okay, but you have that coin. It means you're privy to some sort of private information. That's how you're a coin holder.
Ha! I'm glad you know what you're talking about. Well, okay. I have heard rumors that there's a fort called the Briar Patch that's taken right at the base of Shade Grove Woods. And whoever owns it would pretty much control trade between the river. Since the river runs straight through the Shade Grove, and they haven't been able to do trade down the river in so long now. Ever since the Coven's influence has just grown and grown more over time.
Okay, so y'all want this fort then?
Now we do. And so the hags being gone would benefit us.
So you'll give us the weapon to take on the hags, but in exchange you want the plot of land.
No, they don't want just a plot of land. They want trade.
Oh,
they
I'm
want
aware.
Trade within the whole region.
Also, they're not giving us the weapon. They're wanting us to take the weapon.
Yeah, they're telling us where it is and saying good luck with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm aware.
Oh, we would definitely provide assistance along the way, depending on how much you want to help us. Because I know Rawl was insisting he had an alternate solution as well.
Rawl, what is your solution?
Well, first off, I don't think there's really a level of helping you. There's either they're alive or they're dead. I don't see any tears to this.
Oh, well, depending on how you want to approach the Shade Grove, you're going to have to pass the Briar Patch eventually if you want to go up the middle, but I guess you could go on the sides as well, but it'd be on foot. It's a lot slower. Yeah.
And what is in this fort? Why haven't y'all just taken it?
I'm told there's its own coven actually residing over it, which handles most of the trade going through the forest and the rogue states. And in particular, they have a bunch of followers in there.
Okay,
And
then.
there
So
it is.
this should raise our price then. Okay, because we're not just clearing one coven, we're clearing 2 plus minions. Do you see the problems I'm having here? Can you see the price starting to add up?
You are also, we already going to clear out these primordial ancient coven, but now we have to clean out another cult.
Oh gosh, darn! That would suck if the Silver-Bloodeds just got the deed to their land back. Now that I think about it,
You know, I
since
see.
we're going by the numbers.
I fail to see how that's going to affect me if I'm not here for them to pick at. And even if I am here and they do decide, I'm protected by the law. I've done nothing wrong.
Oh, I'm sure the crazy zealots would just love to make things difficult for everyone that you're known to associate with.
And I'm pretty sure
Yeah,
your so-called boss...
Powerful humans.
And I'm sure your so-called boss would love to hear that you couldn't make the deal.
Because you decided to threaten them.
We can negotiate as well.
Okay. I'm not threatening, I'm just saying what could happen.
Oh, but I am. Cyrus says with a smile.
Not tough, I'll give you that. Well, you can take up the boss directly if you'd like, but is this really the time to be having this discussion?
You're the one that started this discussion. And now you want to back out.
Also, this discussion is rather important considering that it's on the topic that we were discussing.
It is quite true.
But thank you so much for the information, at least.
Who is your boss, by the way?
Oh, the Candyman.
I knew it.
Okay. The Candyman.
Yeah. Yeah. Does anyone else remember him?
Yeah.
And who else he was associated with?
Mm.
And one of our first little enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have it in my notes. Well.
But I think we'll weigh our options. We'll get back to you and...
Yeah. The Balthus nods like, alright, I'll wait. And he just leans on the pillar still inside of y'all. As Rawl looks back. I have a solution as well. Unfortunately, it's just about as sketchy, I won't even lie to you. But it'll get you the context of the book, but not the original book itself.
So what is your plan?
The short answer is, you know how the Platinum Vault seemed really sketchy of me?
Mm-hmm.
An old acquaintance of mine is one of the few, well, currently the only living person that's ever broken into their restricted section and lived.
This acquaintance, would they have a copy of the book that we're looking for?
Yeah, they got an identic memory. They read all the books they could and started copying down the info. The ones that interest them, at least, and he had certain reason to not like the Coven at the time.
Probably focused down on that book the most.
You ain't a heavy bargain there, Rawl. Kind of looking at the shadow coin holders, like, I mean, it seems like all the information we need was right there. If only there was anything to sweeten the pot.
The shadow coin holder just kind of shrugs, like I said, I've talked to my boss. I gave you what information I could, but he has more details in particular.
Well, we could talk to your boss, but where would we even meet a member of the Shadow Organization? Would you walk us?
I'm pretty sure he can meet us in the lobby of the Alchemist Guild.
Better option.
No, I would guide you to him.
But I'm pretty sure no one really knows what he looks like, so what's the harm?
I'm not even going to justify that with a response.
Then you see that
Well,
I carry logic in my answer.
I mean,
No, he has reasons for not wanting to be seen, obviously.
It's very likely.
well, it would be better for us to meet in a more neutral place. Because the last time that we wandered off to teach strangers in the city, it didn't go well.
What about
For the strangers.
the guild, or the guild area that has no guild?
What, the Temple District?
The above table, the area where the Forge Guild disbanded.
I mean, the Forge Guild is a guild still, but it's like a more rundown part of the city.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's less people there.
Just meet outside the city field.
I think that can be arranged. I will meet with him and see what he says.
Well, then the discussion on that matter will continue when we can meet.
Mm-hmm.
As Rawl just looks to you like, yeah, I'm going to be straight with you. Both of the options are pretty sketchy because, like I said, the guy broke into a restricted section and lived to tell the tale. He's a pretty dangerous individual himself. And, well, personal opinion, he's good on deals, but he's not someone I try and associate with too often. He was just good for some supplies I needed back in the day.
Oh, no
But the
worries.
way I view this is we associate with him, and we potentially have one man angry at us. He might be a dangerous man, but it's something more we can handle. Okay? Versus we do side with the Shadow Guild, and we potentially make an enemy of the Platinum Vault. You see,
In a coven.
well, we're going after the Coven anyways.
No, there are two covens. There's the one running this fort, and then there's the one that we want the most. If we go to this fort, we have to deal with a coven and all of their followers.
And anyways, no worries,
Like-
Rawl. We're just doing business at this point.
He rolls his eyes like, yeah. And at that point, Ladywood speaks up. Oh, I hate to tell you, but the Shade Grove Coven has, if not ties, influence over every coven in the continent.
Yay.
I mean, we were told that they definitely controlled the covens within the forest, but continent. Again, either way we move, we are kicking a hornet's nest. The second that we go for them, but it's one that I'm willing to go into.
How close is Mr. Shadow Man to us? Did he wander off, toddle on over, and lean against the pillar to be all edgy?
Yeah, he's been a good distance away from all of you this entire time.
I'm going to lean in and whisper so that he can't hear me. If we're going to be fighting a coven, we could use a base of operations. If we have to start somewhere, why not start from a position of power?
Two.
Cyrus
Also-
just kind of like winks at you, Amrock, to get that he understands what you mean.
I want that.
Also, we're already aligned with a group of people. the Alchemist Guild has been pretty good to us. Having a trade route open would be useful.
We could potentially be a supplier for ingredients that can be our cover.
Hmm?
We can be Evergarden 2.0.
I feel like this would be better discussed later.
Private. More private.
One thing about, even though, they do run all the other covenants in the entire continent, you kill a queen, suddenly all the bees want to take their place.
You have a power struggle, a vacuum.
Exactly.
So, if we chop the head off of the snake, in your case, the queen of this hive, they're more worried about dealing with this opening rather than dealing with the people who did it.
Or they end up being their own entities and easier to deal with.
Also, from what we've been told, the Shade Grove Coven are in control over these other heads. For all we know, they could be relieved that we remove.
Yeah. We have to think about this diplomatically,
Mm-hmm. There's going to be fallout, no matter how we handle it.
We'll deal with that after the fact.
We definitely have more to discuss.
So, do we have any other business to deal with?
You feel Graham's eyes on you as she's sitting next to the twins trying to console them.
Has my tea ever got there?
Oh yeah, the tea did arrive, and he just kind of steps. He wasn't sure when to interject. Just steps forward, like, "Here you go, ma'am," as he hands the tea to Maddie and Luna, and one to the third Ozimar as well.
I don't
Maddie
take
doesn't
it.
grab it.
I'm going to stick it in their hands if I have to.
Yeah, the third Ozimar's not moving either.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Maddie's still just staring down at her bloody hand.
Yeah.
She's actually kind of contemplating the fact that at one point the blood on her hands wasn't hers, but her dad's and her mom's.
Okay.
Marcus will walk over, seeing he won't touch her this time, but he will actually do something he hasn't done. He'll hold onto the symbol of August that he's been in, kind of say a prayer the way he's taught, and that's how he'll cast cure.
Okay.
By the looks of things, it seems we have more important matters to deal with. Sorry, business will have to wait. Talking to the Shadow Coin holder.
He shrugs. I didn't expect to be immediate.
As upon hearing the fact of further business, Maddie just says in a small voice, "I would just like to go back to my room."
Actually, is it possible to have my own room? And I look at the gin.
Mary's like, yeah, sure. You are still our honored guest, and after hearing all that, I imagine you definitely want to take some time to yourself, so feel free.
Thank you. And the whole time, it doesn't fully look at him. She just kind of moves her head in his direction when she's talking to him, and then just kind of looks back down.
Y'all also notice that both Luna and Maddie have not yet looked at each other this entire time.
All right. And around that point, the Lady of the Woods is like, That is all great. You girls, come by my village. I will do everything I can to help you if you're wanting to do some hag hunting. But can I go home?
Are we done?
As Mary's like, yes, I apologize. It was Raul request. Yeah, I'm sure. And she turns to Raul and's like, Raul, does this mean you're accepting my offer? And
Just before you can say anything, of course he is.
He just stares at you and's like, I'd throw you in the ocean if it wasn't such an emotional moment right now.
That's why I'm doing it.
And at that point, the Lady of the Woods just disappears as Mary waves his hand. And Both's like, yeah, it's a little awkward for my taste. As he just turns to, as he just gets off the pillar. I shall be doing my guard duty, boss. And he just does like a mocking salute and walks away.
I hate that man.
Get back to our room and get some rest. We have a lot to think of. And this has been a tiring day.
Yeah. And around that point, Arden steps forward and says, I feel I should be getting back to my people as well, since there's an opportunity to teleport out, and it seems y'all may be spending some time here to take in everything.
Thank you so much for your assistance.
No, it's no trouble at all.
And sorry, Art. It was way more than we ever thought it would be.
Arden waves his hand. No trouble at all. I was happy to assist. And he makes his way over to the girls, and he tries to get him to look at you, but you won't. He just says, girls, smite all evil in your path. I know you can. You're good people and you're capable of great things. So let me know if you ever need anything again.
As he's talking, Maddie sets her untouched tea on the floor and slowly stands. And she says in a voice void of all emotion, I will kill them all. And starts making her way back to her room.
Yep. Arden just kind of steps in your path and just says, just don't lose your light as you walk a path of darkness. That's something I had to struggle with in my time.
I've already been in darkness. And I killed my whole family. And she moved on, and I'm gonna kill them.
Take it from someone who has no family left. Just fight like hell to keep what you have and do your best. Cherish those around you. And he takes a step away and says, just, if you need help again dealing with these matters, let me know. Not because I owe you anything, just as a friend. And he looks to everyone else and says, goodbye, everyone. I enjoyed our time fighting together.
Have a good one, Arden.
Stay safe.
He nods and he steps forward and Mary waves his hand again and he disappears. And at that moment you realize Arden didn't bother to take any of the gold or anything.
No.
Okay. He's a very simple man. He has few needs.
I understand. As we are walking back to our room, and Marcus is walking next to Emerald, once we're no longer in view of everyone. Marcus will raise his hand. And just as he's walking next to interrupt. To your question before. And then he keeps walking.
Okay, then. Are we all leaving then? If we are, I'm going to go gather the third Ozimar and just bring him with us. Because I did kind of dump him in a situation that he's ill-prepared for.
Oh no, we kidnapped him to another plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. In particular, you see he's sitting next to one of the waiting pools, just staring down at the water as a reflection. You see his face is completely tear-stained right now.
Welcome to your rebirth. It's a new life with new opportunities.
Yeah. Sure.
I'll just half carry him along if he's dragging his feet.
He's not responding or moving at all. He's just sitting there staring at the pool.
I mean, I'll bridle carry him if I have to. He's coming with us.
Alright, you pick him up and he's still kind of unresponsive. He's just dead weight right now.
Alright. I'm gonna bring him back to the rooms, get him situated on his own, and just let him sleep. From the look of him, he hadn't been real well off lately, so a little bit of rest will do him some good.
Alright. As you all get back to your room, Luna, you're taken off to the side, and you are given your own little private room.
Okay. Once I go in there, like, I go straight in and I just close the door. Even though I know. They were like, no, we have to keep the doors open and everything. She just closes the door.
Right.
Maddie walks to her room.
Also, I have a question. Is there any mirrors in this room?
You can get that.
There is. There's pretty much to do that, they pretty much had to set you up a whole separate little apartment. So they gave you a room not too far away from everyone else's. And Graham does try and follow you in with Vivian.
With who?
With her grandson.
I forgot what his name was. There's a lot that's happened between meeting him and now.
Oh, there's a lot. Yeah, I'm not denying it. It's okay.
I'm still not looking at anyone. I still just kind of look behind me and just say, later, please.
Like, just Luna, I know we go in our own way. I just don't want you to be alone right now.
Well, then go be with Maddie. She shouldn't be alone either, I guess.
Well,
As
Maddie
you
went
say,
back
Maddie, you just hear the door close.
well, Maddie's at least has your other friends with her, but you, I just don't want you to be in this apartment alone.
Give me a few minutes by myself, at least.
I'll be waiting out here. I can send Fiven away if you just want it to be us.
No, I just need to be alone for a little bit.
Sure, it's okay. Take your time.
I close the door.
Yes, there's mirrors in there.
I close the door, and as soon as I see my reflection in one mirror, I immediately break it with my hand, reopening wounds that Marcus healed. And I just go around before Graham can come in there. I just go around and smash every mirror with my hands.
In the distance, you just hear Mara say, "Aw."
More expensive. Things that are ruined.
It's
He
processed.
just knows.
So,
He can redecorate. It's fine. It's an opportunity.
is it
It's
is it lunchtime?
He's a reality warping genie.
Yeah. Cyrus just kind of goes to like one of the servers, like, so is there food anywhere?
On the servers that just looks like a deer in headlights who's watched all this, who's been with you the whole time, just like, I will bring you whatever you want.
Surprise me. Something delicious though. I'm hungry.
Sure. As turns and makes his turns around and starts heading off toward heading off in just the opposite direction.
Cyrus just kind of looks odd. Well, I don't know whether to say oddly calm, but I guess in contrast to everything else, it kind of stands out.
It's like, well, today has been a day.
Yeah. As it's...
So you liking your own?
Sorry, what were you saying?
I was just saying, are you in your own room, or like, are we like the three of us in the same room again?
Pretty much I say that in like front of all of you. So it's just like, take that however you will.
Those two. They carry so much, so...
Sorry, you're cutting out a little bit.
I was just saying, those two, they carry so much so young.
Yeah, but they have to face their demons.
Everyone does, but wish it was something more manageable.
It never is.
As he's having this conversation with you, Marcus he would have regathered Ornick, and basically he's gonna be like working on Ornick, where he like opens up Ornick, and what he's doing is he's taking little sheets of metal that he's writing words on, and then casting magic mouth on the different sheets so that Ornick can activate each individual sheet, and they're just simple words. He's just starting that process.
Oh, cool.
Before he goes to sleep, since magic mouth is a ritual, so
Text speech device.
Yeah.
basically giving him simple command, because magic mouth doesn't go away until it's out. So giving Ornick simple command is like the way is like all clear, danger, stuff like that. Simple phrases.
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
And this day, it's more and more.
It's been very eventful, hasn't it?
It has. Again, like I said, for good and bad aspects of my life become very more interesting in the past few months.
Well, tomorrow's another day. And it seems like the events of today are going to carry over. Be interesting to see how things work themselves out.
Said it before. Add it to the pile. Another thing for a whole nother day.
And as all of you trying to go off to sleep, do you have something else?
Yeah, Marcus he stays up just a little bit, like an hour, so he does like a few words, and then he'll go to sleep. And later on, I'll send you the words that he gives on it.
Okay. As long as you do your best to go to sleep. As you come in, Maddie, Kiara just comes up to you, is just like, "Hey, how'd it go?" Just trying to stop you, unaware that anything's even wrong.
Like she's in my room?
The more she stopped you as you came in, like she was waiting in the living room.
Oh, poor baby.
Oh,
Yes, use the childlike innocence to break through.
And then she's like, "Where's Luna? Like, why didn't she come back? And who's
went
this
to her
guy that
room.
kind of looks like you?"
He followed me too? Did I not get a room to myself? Excuse me, sir.
I'm carrying the other guy.
No,
Yeah.
you're the living room. I think.
Oh.
He said.
Also,
She
Yeah,
was
this
trying to
is
make it to her room. Oh.
Also, we all do have our own room, and we had one at the beginning. It's just we all chose to sleep in the room.
Natty. When she asked where Luna was, she goes, she's in her own room, and walks past.
Wait, but Maddie, but why?
Talk.
Can we
to you.
talk?
Please. Just give me a moment.
Okay. If you really want me to.
You're cruel, DM. How dare you make me hurt this small being?
The baby.
You're the one who put me through all this. I'm just responding.
I get to hurt Graham. You get to hurt the small one.
I think I prefer her to Graham.
The youngling.
The two of you stopped me as I came home one day. It was like, "Hey, this is a story we have," and I'm just like, "Oh my gosh, what?"
Dark.
This is what you get.
But she closes the door. And doesn't bother turning on the lights in her room.
And as all of you are trying to get some sleep, and just kind of get down for a night, eventually Graham just kind of comes in to see what you've done in your room, Luna. Oh, Luna. And she does her best to bandage up your hands and heal them, and just kind of silently trying to be there for you, not push you to talk too much.
That's good because Luna doesn't really say anything. She just sort of allows Graham to bandage her.
Mm.
And eventually she just sort of passes out.
So all of you do your best to get some sleep, though it's pretty heavy, everything that has come up to you for the last few days. So it comes a little easier to some than others, but eventually, some sooner than others, the next day comes.
Oh, wonderful morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Better than yesterday, hopefully.
What's breakfast? Is there breakfast?
And with that said, we will pick up on the next day next week.
All right.
It's going to get pretty close to the end, and we haven't had a break, so.
Oh, yeah. So, great start to Season 2, actually. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, as well as follow us on YouTube to check out any episodes you might have missed. And if you're watching this on YouTube, hi YouTube, we are here on twitch.tv/the Arcane Gate, where you can watch these episodes live and the rest of the things we do. And while we end this off on some somber music, as always, thank you all so much for watching. Bye, everyone.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Peace.